Good morning, Annie here. Just thought I'd do a little recipe for you, and this is a quiche. You can see I've got the pastry case here, and we're going to do salmon, asparagus. I'm going to show you how to prepare those with a caramelized leek and a lovely creamy dill filling. So let's do this. So I'm going to start with the leek. I've already done the pastry case, as I said. This is a puff pastry, and I've propped the bottom, so when that goes in the oven, it doesn't, lift up. So that keeps it all down. These are leeks that I've caramelized in butter, and then I flamed them at the end with a little bit of brandy, and that just gives it a really super rich flavour. This recipe is actually great to sort of explain flavour profiling, because flavour profiling is about adding different layers of flavour, whether you're making a sauce or a stock, or you're building flavour for any dish. So I'm putting the caramelized leek on the base here and spread it out, so when everybody tucks in and cuts a slice, you don't want somebody not getting some leeks, so make sure that's all spread out super nicely. Now I've cut up some salmon here into chunks, and I'm going to place those sort of strategically around the quiche dish. So I will do that as quick as possible. And I've got ready to go 7 eggs, I beg your pardon. And I like to use 800-gram eggs, so just a little bit bigger for this particular dish. This is quite a deep quiche dish, and I think that gives people a little bit more. There's nothing worse than having a quiche and it's really skinny and sort of a bit mean. So I always buy a slightly deeper quiche dish, so everybody gets proper bites. So in goes the salmon. So that is done. Now, as I said, I've got here, I've got 7 eggs, 800 grams. I've got 300 mils of cream and a bunch of fresh dill chopped. And I'm just gonna whip that up there. And when that's all emulsified, I'm gonna add some grated Gruyere cheese, and that just gives you that lovely classic French vibe we all love. By the way, the oven, put it on at 200 degrees C, preheat that, and when you do put this in the oven, it's got to go on the middle shelf. Don't put it on the top, because when you put it in, if you put it on the top, it's just going to burn. You want it to sort of slowly cook and get a nice golden finish. So I've whisked that. I'm going to put as a handful of Gruyere. You can put as much Gruyere, or as you don't even have to put that in. If you prefer, actually, what you can do is put feta. That's actually a really nice complement to this dish. What I will do now at this stage is put some salt and pepper on the top of the salmon. I had actually seasoned the leeks when they were in the pan, so they're done, but just a little bit more there would be great. So I'm just going to slightly whisk that through. You can see that. And now all we need to do is the pour. So get that in there. And you can see it's quite gluggy. There we go. It goes almost to the top. So that's done. And the way I like to finish this off, there's a bit of cheese there, it is with asparagus. These are washed, and a lot of people don't, if they don't cook with asparagus very much, don't understand asparagus. So the best way to deal with it is they've got a snapping point. This end here is quite sort of hard, woody. So when you go like that, it snaps at its natural snapping point. And please don't throw these away. I mean, if you haven't got a rabbit or whatever, you can actually make stocks with these and sauces. So up to you. Anyway, snapping point, discard that. Oh, there's a little rogue one there. So what I'm going to do is, and you can literally just place these on the top any which way that you like. So whatever is taking your fancy on the day. I'm just going to do sort of a random thing. I quite like it, you know, really rusticy. So that's that. Again, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper on the top and a teeny tiny bit of olive oil. There we go. And that's going to go in the oven for about 40 minutes, 200 degrees Celsius. That's a fan assisted. And till golden. So we'll come back in a second and I will show you how we're going to finish this off. Okay, we're back again, 35 minutes later, been in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius. The smell is next level. The Gruyere cheese just takes everything to a different place. You can see there's a lovely golden crust on the top. And what I like to do for lunches or dinner parties is just pile up lots of chilled smoked salmon in the middle and stick a little piece of dill on the top, and it just finishes off super nice. Lovely with some roast potatoes or a nice green salad. So I hope you've got something from this, and until the next time, sending lots of love and see you soon.